Welcome to the Budget Finance Economic Development Committee. Today is April 25th, and we are in a very critical moment in terms of our decisions week. So thank you everybody for being here. It is now 9:06 a.m. and my name is Yukile Sugimura. I'm the chair of this committee. I'd like to welcome all of you and mention at this time that this meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Sunshine Law. And as a reminder, when your name is called, if you are not in the...
First community members, there's no testifiers at the Lanai District Office, and I'm here and ready to work. Mahalo.
Okay, good. Member Rollins Fernandez.
Aloha kakahiaka kako. There are currently no testifiers at the Molokai District Office. I'm ready for our last day of budget and adjourning by lunchtime. Mahalo, Chair.
Oh, all right. And somebody has to catch a flight back home to Molokai?
No? Yes,
Oh.
at 7:55, but I'm looking forward to getting on an earlier flight home. Mahalo, Chair.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still daylight. That's safe. Member Coates.
Aloha, Chair. Good morning, members. There's nobody at the Key Regional Office, and Jamaica says hello and good morning.
Member Uhajens.
Good morning, all. Yawabi.
Good morning. Member Senensi. Oh, I don't see him. Member Senensi? Oh, there you are.
There you go. Oh, my apologies. My camera, my screen just went blank. And I didn't know that my mic was
Oh, okay.
unmuted. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you see me?
I know we cannot see you, but we can hear you. So you're going to work on that.
Yeah, the electric went out yesterday, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh my God. Okay. And I guess yesterday it was determined by our legal that it's okay if we can't see you, though we would like to see you. Okay. We still can't see you. All right. Office of the Mayor, Leslie Milner, Budget Director, Department of Corporation Counsel, Christina Toshikio, as well as Christy Wigglesworth, committee staff, Pauline Martins, Kirsten Zabel, Legislative Analyst, James Kruger, Senior Legislative Analyst, Jared Pasquale, Clarissa McDonald, Legislative Analyst, and Peter Hanano, Legislative Attorney, Rochelle Kawasaki, Deputy Director of Corporation Counsel, Leigh Deneen, Council Services Assistant Clerk. Thank you very much, staff, for working on this. And over and beyond the names that I called, there's a lot of our OCS staff who are working on budget to help all of us. See the last page for information on meeting connectivity. Thank you, members, for attending today's BFED meeting. We have one item on the agenda, which is BFED 1, proposed fiscal year 26 budget for the County of Maui. If there are no objections, I'd like to take testimony after receiving opening comments from staff on Exhibit 1. Thank you. All
Chair,
right. Yes.
I just want to say good morning to everyone.
Oh, I did not
Aloha
call that.
kakahiaka and
Sorry.
Tibawai. Right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So at this time then, Mr. Kruger, do you have Exhibit 1, which is the work that we did yesterday and the motions and where we are?
Yes, Chair. Sorry, I'll start a screen share in just a sec.
Okay. Oh, I have to join the meeting.
Yeah, Chair, just for the record, I'm here at the Hana District Office, and I'm here with district staff. No. Thank you.
Okay, now we can see you. Great. Thank you, Member Senensi.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. So we have two spreadsheets to kind of share with everybody today, or two documents to share, rather. So the first one is the Exhibit 1, as always. And again, we're just sharing the departments that the committee went over yesterday, so you can review the changes that you've made. Once again, please take a look. If you see anything that we didn't capture, you feel we didn't capture accurately, please let us know, and we can discuss and discuss if any adjustments are necessary. The sheet starts with management, and then it'll cover mayor. You'll see all the conditions being added in from like the OED conditions, things like that. And then the committee also went over the P documents, the P departments, sorry, Parks, Personnel, Police. So that should be all included in this handout as well. So that's Exhibit 1 to show the details of what the committee went through yesterday. The second document that we're going to share, I'm just going to stop the screen share for a second.
So members, right now, staff is passing out the Exhibit 1 document, so you can see it. It's still pretty light, I guess, but easier to see, I guess. What is this? What is the second document that you're?
Oh, so the second document, members and chair requested that we kind of do a more summary kind of what the committee has done thus far. So that's what this second document is. So what we've done is basically we've taken each department and we've shown what the mayor's proposed total was for the department, the reductions that the committee has done to the department, the committee's adds to the department. The fourth column is basically the new department total, and so the last column is the difference between the mayor's proposal and the current status where the committee is at with its adds and cuts. So you can see that a positive number in each row means that's an overage, and then a negative is an underage.
Are you passing this out? Sorry.
Yes, we can distribute this document as well. And then I think there was some request for some additional information for us to share. So just as far as fund balance goes right now, we, again, as we, at the end of every night, we take some time, we make some background adjustments to account for transfers, fringe, things like that. So with that all taken into account right now, we're showing that the committee is short $21,977,061 in the general fund, and it's over $2,968,650 in the sewer fund. All other funds right now are balancing after staff has done the background adjustments. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, so hard to read well, we can't read that, and definitely, can you please get this passed out for the members so that they can see? Oh, can you leave that up? I only got Exhibit 1. Okay, thank you. Are you getting that back up? I guess I'm trying to. Okay.
Question
Yes,
for
Chair.
James.
Member Johnson.
Does that number include the 10 million that Leslie suggested, Director Miller?
So this number just accounts for appropriations. I don't believe the committee has taken a motion yet to accept that carryover savings as revenue. So no, in our spreadsheets, we're not accounting for that 10 million additional carryover savings.
Thanks for that clarification. Thank you, Chair.
So this is basically all the work that we have done up until last night.
Yes, Chair.
Okay, I can't read. I would summarize it, but I can't read it. It's too small. So I will wait for.
Is there a column you want us to zoom in? Apologies, Chair. We're working on getting that distributed to the members.
Yeah, you can get the document to the members. All right.
Do you want to take a 5-minute recess so we can kind of read it?
Do you have it?
Well, not the second one, but the first one is, we have to squint to read.
Yeah. So the second one, which I think is important, and members did ask for this information. So this to me is an important document. When we started off, members, looking at all of the priorities that we have, that we asked for, it was 100 million over the mayor's budget. So this document will show us what we've added so far, and I think Member Paulton has done a really good job in terms of, cutting, and with your votes to support it, I wanted to, express to her appreciation, because we're gonna need to have more cuts as we look at the budget and figure out where that's going to be. And some of you have already given up some of your priorities. I saw that from Chair Lee yesterday, where you didn't add in a lot of your priorities. You kept it out, and maybe we can look at it for future budgets. So that's where we are today. And we are also will be working with our real property tax to figure out what the final budget is going to be with these changes. I think I saw Member Rollins-Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I just wanted to clarify that reducing the budget is not the only option. That, as you stated, we will be working with the Department of Finance's spreadsheet, and I'm guessing Finance Department on adjusting and looking at the different rates to also cover the budget.
Yeah. That is definitely.
I like
where we
listening
are.
to you too, Member Kama.
Okay. So you got this. Following public testimony today, I want to briefly discuss real property tax so the members have an opportunity to ask the budget director any outstanding questions. This will give her time to get out answers before we propose any amendments to the real property tax. We will have our larger real property tax discussion later today. We will then discuss countywide costs, the general budget provisions, and afterwards we'll proceed with our revisits and outstanding matters, including Bills 48, 49, Resolutions 2589, 2590, and the weight tax and fuel tax. Once those matters are resolved, we will discuss real property, and next we'll take up any final decisions on Bill 41, which is our bill we've been working from, as well as Bill 50 and 54. We will end the meeting by taking actions on the budget bills 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, and Resolutions 2583. So you got your Exhibit 1 handout. Did we ever get the other document? Oh, she's working on it. Okay. All right. So members, I'm going to ask for public testimony at this point. Thank you very much. So I see we have testifiers in the audience, and testifiers wanting to provide testimony should sign up with staff, join the meeting online meeting with Teams link, or call in to the phone numbers noted on today's agenda. Testimony on the budget is not limited to the departments scheduled for today. Written testimony is encouraged and can be submitted via the e-comments link at mauicounty.us/agendas as well. For individuals wishing to testify on Teams, please raise your hand by clicking on the raise your hand button. If calling in, please follow the prompts via phone, *5 to raise and lower your hand, and *6 to mute and unmute. Staff will add names to the testifiers list in the order testifiers sign up or raise their hands. For those on Teams, staff will lower your hand once your name is added, and staff will add, thank you. Staff will then call the names you've logged in and under the last 4 digits of your phone number if you wish to testify by phone. At this time, staff will then enable your microphone and videos. Please ensure your name appears on the Microsoft Teams as a name you prefer to be referred to, or anonymous if you wish to testify anonymously. If you're in person, please notify staff that you would like to testify anonymously. Otherwise, please state your name for the record at the beginning of your testimony. Oral testimony is limited to 3 minutes, and if you're not done, we'll give you another 30 seconds to complete your testimony. Oral testimony is welcome, and we also welcome written testimony. And once you're done testifying, or if you do not wish to testify, you can also view the meeting on Akaku Channel 53, Facebook Live, or mauicounty.us/agendas. We will do our best to take each person up in an orderly fashion. Staff, please call the first testifier.
Chair, the first testifier is Jenny Sullivan, to be followed by Kelly O'Keefe.
Jenny Sullivan. And you have your support team, I see coming down to be with you.
We come as a team, yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, my name is Jenny Sullivan, and I'm an employee of PB Sullivan Construction. Chair and council members, thank you for the opportunity to testify today. I'm here to speak in strong opposition of Bill 54. Bill 54, as it is written, is not about fairness, employing local people, or getting homes built faster. It's about control. This bill hands over authority for all county capital improvement projects over $500,000 to the unions at the cost and expense of local experienced merit-based contractors who have built Maui from the ground up. Councilmember Paulton said yesterday, this is an effort to ensure local labor, whether union or non-union, just get the work done. And they should get the work first. Bill 54 clearly states it is to require responsive bidders be signatories to the community workforce agreement. This is not an option. There's no option in that statement. Bill 54 is going to eliminate competition, shut out qualified local contractors, and drive up costs. Bill 54 will act as a barrier to the entry, contradicting the inclusiveness of many public and community-oriented projects. Most public projects already enforce David Bacon laws, which ensure prevailing wages, safety, and local hire requirements. Therefore, mandating a community workforce agreement is redundant and benefiting the unions only. Section 5C of the bill states any qualified bidder can be selected as long as they agree to the terms of the community workforce agreement. Once again, not an option. Under this bill, if a merit-based company wants to work, we must sign union agreements. And if we do sign, here's what it looks like. Nearly $37 an hour per employee will be diverted from our payroll to the union pensions and healthcare. Plans that our workers will never see unless they stay in the union, typically for 5 years and vest. Thousands of dollars will be taken from workers' paychecks and funneled to union accounts. Money that could have been gone towards real benefits that they can actually use now. Longtime employees, like these guys, some who've been with us for decades, will be forced to give up their current health care and retirement, delay coverage, and start over on systems they never asked to join. Yesterday, the council allocated $250,000 for a project labor administrator, a role that was agreed to exist independently of Bill 54. This position can promote efficiency and economic development without mandating union participation. Suggesting Bill 54 is unnecessary. The foundation of this county and this country was built on open opportunity and free enterprise. Please prioritize policies that support local contractors, regardless of their labor affiliation, and facilitate the fastest possible recovery for our community. Please vote no for Bill 54. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have questions? Member Paulton?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. I was wondering if, I got the written testimony provided. I was wondering if you have anything in writing where a community workforce agreement says that you need to join a union, like if you have a community workforce agreement, because that hasn't been created yet.
I'm so glad you said that, because there is a lot of ambiguity around the whole community workforce agreement. What is it? Nowhere in that bill does it say exactly what that means. However, there's a section in the bill, we were just talking about it, my colleagues and I, that refers to a union strategy. There's actual word, the union's in there, and going into the union halls, that typical idea and direction of how they're going to run this. So you're right. This plan is so ambiguous. There's not a lot of detail, but everything alludes to that type of workforce. If you can rewrite it to include all labor sectors, union and non-union, I think there's a lot of potential in this. But the way it's written now, it's really not clear, and therefore leads us down this path.
That was the assignment on the project assignment form, but so if we remove that section that says about that.
I think there's a lot of more detail that has to be entered. I think a whole description of what you think the community workforce agreement actually is. I think this was, you even mentioned yesterday you were kind of rushed to get this done. So I can appreciate that, and it's a little bit obvious that there wasn't a lot of detail.
The goal is to hire local first. We don't have
100%.
the housing for off-island workers.
100%. We know our guys are hardly having hard times finding housing, so we get that.
So do you have any proposed language to get to where you would like it to be?
Thank you. Not on the top, not right with me, but this is something that I think council members, a lot of people should weigh in, not just one member. I understand that a lot of you haven't even had a chance to participate or add value to this bill. So I think it's a bigger discussion, not just from me, but there's a lot of community members that would, did you read the testimonies, the comments that are on the e-comment? I went through them, and there's some really great facts from other merit-based companies that are just concerned, and they have some great suggestions. But I think this is, if it to really pass as a bill, there's a lot that has to be done, a lot of work, a lot of detail. Yes. Thank you.
Are you done?
Chair?
Sure.
Okay. Did I miss anybody? Anybody? Oh, member Kama.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for being here. So I think the intent is supposed to be, if all the unions can get together, and union and non-unions, the construction workers, all the people in the trades got together and looked at this and actually tweaked it together and came out with something that everybody can adhere to, would that be workable?
Of course, that's a starting point. But my question really is, so we already have the Davis-Bacon laws. So what is the difference? Like, why are we putting it in? This bill almost alludes that there's problems with the workforce now. We're trying our best. The reality is, guys that live here need homes. For us to employ local workers to actually do the job, they need somewhere to live. So we need to employ local. We want to employ local. We want to get the jobs. But when we are forced to join unions and then our costs go up, we have to increase our hourly rate by $37 just to even bid a job, we are out of the loop, or there's no way we can get the work. So what happens? There's a small pool of labor here. So then union companies will pull labor from other counties, other states, and then what happens? Our guys, they don't get to work unless they join the union. But then if they join the union, they have to wait 5 years to see anything that they've contributed in. So guys that are in their 50s and 60s, it doesn't make logical sense. So then what do we do as a company who's been in business over 30 years, building multiple communities on this island? What do we do? So I think the intent, as it's written, is not what Councilmember Paulton wants to have. I think her intention is right. I just don't think the paper is written properly.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Any more questions? Seeing none. Oh, sorry. Member Cook.
Thank you. My clarifying question would be, as a tool, what potentially can the county do to facilitate and enable more local construction workers?
Great question. To enable local construction workers, it all comes down to people who live here. These guys are willing and able. We're a part of ABC that helps us with training and getting these guys qualified. So if they don't live here, they can't work.
A place to live.
Absolutely.
Housing, focusing on housing.
Housing is the priority.
Focusing on making projects easier to get started, possibly.
Absolutely. And we're all talking about affordable housing. So that's what these guys can afford. That's what most of us can afford, is affordable housing. So, I know there's developments going up all over Kihei that are going to accommodate this if they don't get roadblocked. This is the point. There has to be funding. There has to be support. There can't be. And you guys are doing what you need to do. I think we're getting there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to, if I may, Chair, acknowledge for you to bring your crew today and all of them not to be on the job site is a real testament to how deeply you feel and care about this. And hey, Friday, you gotta go work.
Yeah, we're a big family. I love these guys, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
No,
Thank you.
Okay,
That's it.
thanks. Thanks, guys.
Next testifier.
Chair, the next testifier is Kelly O'Keefe, to be followed by Douglas Bigley.
Okay. Okay, members, so we have a long day. I'm being reminded by staff that we got to do clarifying questions. Okay, is it Mr. O'Keefe?
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, council members. So to back up what Jenny said, I had this testimony in strong opposition to Bill 54, but I think that the definition of the community workforce agreement is what we need, because we read through the bill and we started seeing buzzwords jump off the table here. Union hall hiring provisions, applicable crafts master agreement, five-year contract. And so there's been a frenzy in the office about, does this mean a mandate for union labor on projects over $500,000? And so if that is not the bill's intent, then we're good. I mean, we're absolutely committed to hiring local. I mean, Maui local, like, we don't hire off island guys, and so there's going to be this huge chunk of federal dollars coming for the Lahaina effort. 100% committed to hiring local, 100% committed to hiring our guys on Maui. We don't want to see, there's going to be off-island guys, but mainland, we don't want to see mainland guys coming here. We don't want to hire from the mainland. We want to keep everything local. So if we misunderstood the intent of the bill, then the frenzy we've been going through the last couple of days will absolutely mellow out. But if there is an intent to mandate that that merit-based open shop companies have to join the union, then we're in strong opposition. We've been, Pete and Dave have been doing the right thing for 30 years. We've got a super strong, super good reputation. We've got good guys working for us. We do good work, and we're just trying to do the right thing. So, yeah, that's where we're at. If the intent is not to have union affiliation, and we're absolutely willing and will be available to sit down and help rewrite or help reword or whatever it takes.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions? Member Paulton.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could, I read the testimony, but if you could, if you had a copy of the bill and highlight all the portions of the thing that are concerning, and then maybe submit that or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got them circled right here, so that's, yeah.
You can just hand it over.
Yeah. Just like I said, some buzzwords that, got us a little bit jumpy, are in there. So, yeah, maybe it's a super easy fix.
Yeah. Well, I didn't give the project assignment form assignee a lot of time to do it, but that was the request on the thing, is union or non-union.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it sounds like, if the figure is $2 billion, I mean, there's going to be so much work that, all the union shops and everybody's going to be full of work. I mean,
that's the goal, is that us guys get the work first, and then anything else you can go further out.
Absolutely. Yep. 100%.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for bringing your team.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Next testifier. Thanks, yeah.
Chair, the next testifier is Douglas Bigley, to be followed by Josiah Nishida.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm here today, really, I have heard that we're going to be possibly a topic of discussion today, so I thought I would go ahead and register as a resource if you should need me. I don't think I have to really talk about the need for housing because the groups that just came before me did that job. And the other thing is we'd like to see, we are interested in getting both of these projects that we were talking about underway. It's in everybody's interest to see how we can get both of them done, not just one or the other. So I'll be here should you need me.
Okay. Well, we're not really doing resources at this point, but the next speaker is Josiah Nishida, so maybe that's who you're talking about. You need to be a resource too, I'm not sure. But,
sure.
Yeah. Anybody have questions for? No. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bigley. Next testifier.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chair, the next testifier is Josiah Nishida.
Aloha members, aloha chair. Thank you for allowing me to be here today to testify on a few items. I apologize, I didn't realize you guys weren't taking resources at this point, but I guess it's understandable with time constraints. But a couple items I wanted to testify on. One is, I believe a proposal will be coming up today in countywide costs, potentially in regards to a settlement agreement with Hawaii Firefighters Association. So I just wanted to let you know that we are in full support of that request. The union still needs to have members ratify the contract. I actually just ended a meeting with Mayor and I met with HFFA and all the firefighters who were able to join the call to ask questions and whatnot. And so we're hoping for a favorable outcome and ratification vote on that. But we do support the funding request to allow us to help resolve that. The other piece that is likely going to come up in countywide costs that we do support is a request for supplemental agreements. As it relates to, I know there's a lot of discussion around this. I haven't had a chance to talk to Mayor about every conversation that has come up, but one item that we've been pursuing that we would like to include in those supplemental agreements is similar to what Kauai did with provision of basic medical for all employees. Wow. So we would like to pursue that. We've had many discussions already, and I think the funding request that is likely going to come up today for the countywide costs would help us support that measure for all of our employees. So if there's any questions on that, please let me know. And then finally, I know that there's been a lot of discussion on the affordable housing projects, and I haven't been able to monitor those meetings, but there was, I've been told, a lot of discussion about trying to find funding potentially for the project at Lipoa. So for the council's consideration, we did try to string together what could be a funding mechanism to allow that to happen if that's the council's intent, that the administration would support as well. Would be, we're holding about roughly $14 million in carryover right now for the acquisition of 2 structures in Wailuku. I know you guys had some robust discussion about borrowing versus using cash, but if the council so chose, that's about $14 million that we'd be willing to provide in that carryover cash that we're holding for acquisition of 2 buildings in Wailuku. So our request when we come in for that acquisition to council would ultimately be for bond if you guys did make that determination. And then the other piece would be, and if I could just have 30 seconds to conclude, would be altering slightly the affordable housing funds to change the Ikaikohana project from a $12.4 million loan to roughly about a $2 million grant and then freeing up about $10 million in there for the project. So that's one proposal to consider. I'm sure you guys probably may have questions for the developer. If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer, but wanted to be able to provide some opportunity for council if you guys did want to consider funding that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So you are saying for the affordable housing Lipoa project, I think what they would need is 25 million. So-
Yeah, so as I was mentioning, and I just want to make clear, I think Leslie brought up about the $10 million yesterday. So this is the same money we're talking about, not, duplicating things. But yeah, it would be about $14 million in carryover for that we had set aside for 2 acquisitions, and then $10 million from the Affordable Housing Fund would roughly be about $24 million, which would leave about a $1 million gap there that would be a lot easier to make up.
Okay, I see hands. So I think I saw member Rollins Fernandez first, and then member Hodgins, Johnson. I'm sure member Kama had her hand up, sorry. Okay. Member
Mahalo,
Rollins
Chair.
Fernandez.
Aloha, Managing Director. Mahalo for your testimony. I appreciate the proposals on trying to make the council's, some of the council members' desire to add the Lipoa project to the budget. I think it's a testament to the administration's wish to collaborate with the council. So mahalo for that. However, I'm a process person. And we heard from the housing director yesterday about trying to stick to the process. Not sure if you listened to that discussion yesterday. And I also don't know, we would have to find out where the Lipoa project scored on, the committee's vetting of the 19 projects that they were given. So my question to you is, if you did hear the discussion that we had with Housing Director Mitchell and Deputy Director Mataafa, if that is something that the administration, yourself, also strongly supports, which is sticking to the process and having integrity in a process that's as depoliticized as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't see your guys' meeting with Remy and Samalu, but I did have multiple conversations with them offline over this, I don't know, maybe past a week, kind of regarding similar situations. The administration stands in full support of the process that we established. We did ask that you keep the integrity of the process intact. I think what was relayed to us a little bit, and I apologize, I didn't get to see the meeting at all, but there were some concerns about cutting projects out or altering some things, or where the money ultimately would come from. And so we worked with a lot of our partners, and also mechanisms that we have available to try to come up with something that would allow projects to continue moving forward, rather than outright, I guess, cutting things that we've already established through the process that should receive funding and whatnot. So yes, we want to keep the integrity of the process. We want to depoliticize it. But ultimately, if the council does want to consider something, we want to make sure it's something that's kind of workable, that we can live with. And so that's why just coming forward to offer an alternative, and it's up to council whether you guys ultimately want to support it.
Mahalo, Managing Director. And then my last question is regarding the 2 properties that the funding was held aside for the acquisition in Wailuku. What then happens to that plan?
Thank you. Ultimately, we're still going to move forward with them. I know you guys had some discussion on this the other day on using cash versus bond for things. But ultimately, we would be forced at that point to come in and requesting bond authorization for those projects when we make the acquisition request, as opposed to identifying the carryover savings that we had set aside.
Mahalo, Managing Director. Mahalo, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you very much, Managing Director. I know we did have a lot of discussion on the process. I remember Rollins Fernandez is really good at loving processes. I'm going to say I don't like the process that happened. What we saw was projects heavily weighted to LIHTC projects, and we continue to miss the missing middle. So I don't think I like the process. I know that we can follow it, but I don't like it. And it was probably created by people who don't do housing just yet. And I know that they had maybe one developer on there or housing provider on there, and I can appreciate it, but how many people have actually provided homes that were scoring these projects? The process wasn't transparent. We haven't, as Member Rollins Fernandez said, we haven't seen the list on how people scored. So right now I don't love the process. But nonetheless, what annoys me in the process is that we have all these funding, more than just Kaia'ulu Onapili. So I don't want to only talk about that project. I'm kind of, like, I get it. I appreciate Mr. Bigley probably ready to say what he was going to say, and then you said it. But we have lots of projects here that are going to use the money on an application, but not for construction right now. So we're just holding it. We have the money on paper, but it can't be used. So the process in that way, in my head, is flawed. And so is the timing for our projects. And it doesn't coincide with LIHTC projects. They need more, we need more money from them than they need from us. So we should probably better conform to their schedule and not expect them to conform to us. But my clarifying question is, if we are going to expect Kaia'ulu Onapili to reduce their monies and go from a loan to a grant, can we not expect that for everybody else instead of just defunding? Well, I don't want to say defunding, instead of just taking it from one project, because there looks like to be about $20-something million that is just on paper but not used. So what else can we do instead of just going for one project?
Thank you, Chair. I think those great comments. I did get, I think this is the first time we're going through kind of like this new process. Yes. So I think the only thing, or the main thing we'd ask for is any changes to the process, which we always got to get better and we always got to improve upon things, sure, is to be made kind of after, not to change it kind of in the middle of things.
Yeah,
I think
don't change it now. But maybe let's have the advisory board help kind of create this process.
And I know I received some concerns about, you know, regarding how projects can score because of AMI levels and things like that. So I think it's all things that we got to take into consideration, you know, to be able to provide the full spectrum of housing that's needed for people. So I think that's understood. I think there's a million ways to skin the cat, so to say. And the last time I used that phrase, I got in a lot of trouble.
How many times do you skin a cat?
I got in a lot of trouble because apparently council was talking about the Lanai Kent sanctuary that day. So I apologize.
Sorry,
that was in relation to that. But the
that's hilarious.
There's a ton of different ways to do this.
Okay.
You know, I think what was relayed to us, some of the concerns, and like I said, I didn't get to watch any of the discussion or meetings, but was that I think Kaia'ulu Onapili was one of the bigger projects funded. Yes. And I think that there was a lot of discussion and or questions about that. And we really want to keep moving that project forward. And so I think, you know, from our standpoint, we had a concern about council just completely cutting funding to that project and allocating it elsewhere. So you know, like I said, I mean, you could take a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, and still come up with the same solution. But we wanted to at least provide one proposal for the council's consideration so that, you know, we're in this dialogue and can make something workable.
I appreciate that. I don't want you to skin a cat several different ways. I assume you can only skin the cat once, and then you got to practice on other cats. But
it just got worse.
Let's be real. I live in the country. I know what it's like. I think this is probably a bigger conversation, so I do look forward to having this conversation on how we can figure out how to best utilize the money we have in the year that we actually need to spend it in, but it's not going to be solved right now. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate your time and you providing us with some option. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who was next? Member Johnson? Okay, Johnson and Paulton.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Thanks for joining us, Managing Director Nishida. I know you're busy, so I'll just jump right to the questions. You know, builders need security, and as we talk about this process, you know, Ikaikoahana, in the discussions, we're weaving, okay? We're all over the place, sometimes it seems. So tell us, have you spoken with Ikaikoahana on it? Are they supportive of the 2 million? And let's hear from that first.
Thank you very much, Chair. And I think Doug's on the line, so, you know, ultimately I'd love for them to speak for themselves. But I've really appreciated Ikaikoahana because throughout our entire time of working together, they've always been really open to try to help resolve things and come up with, you know, really creative solutions and stuff, even things that maybe are contrary to their personal benefit, so to say. And so, you know, they did want to be a partner in helping to resolve some of these issues. I think the ultimate question is whether they prefer to get the money that was already allocated and was asked for. I think the answer is yes. I think in the, you know, knowing that there's other needs in the community and that the council is trying to find ways to support additional projects as well. I think, you know, in talking with them, we came up with this kind of alternative solution to help the council and the county kind of
That's where I'm curious, is as long as you guys are working together and you come to an agreement, because developers and builders want that security, right? We can't be yanking their chain left, right, and center. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about the process, right? I understand what you guys did, but remember, we're part of this process as well, and I feel like we're left out until the last minute, where all of a sudden a project comes before that we didn't even get to discuss about in committee. That's concerning. So in the future, moving forward, if you guys do that kind of committee of which ones to select, it would be really helpful if you guys brought in one of the council members to join you at the table. Remember, we've got equal powers. We can defund, veto, all the things. We are part of the process, but I feel we're a little bit left out. You don't have to do all 9 of us, but maybe the chair of housing or maybe the council member of that district would love to be at the table and speak on what they think the community would need. That is a really important part of the process. So moving forward, please try to include us before it comes down to the 9th hour where we're all of a sudden, you know, at each other's throats because of the process. And I don't want it to be like that. If we can bring it to committee, that's another way. So, you know, those are ways that I think not only brings us to the table, but now for your point of view is you have a champion, right? Let's say Councilmember Paulton believes in a project really strongly, and she knows a lot about it. She can come and explain to this council. She could be that champion and carry that project over the finish line. That's, I think, is a really important part of the process that we're being left out of. So please consider that as we move forward, that we're equals in this process, right?
Yeah, no, appreciate the comments. All good stuff and how we can improve. I would just note, and you know, you should get verification if this is important in your discussions from Department of Housing directly. But my understanding is that the Lipoa project was next on the list below the ones that did receive funding. So it's not that they're, I guess, jumping out of order. They're not like 5 spots down or something. They were next on the list, just as FYI. That's my understanding anyway. Thank you.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Before I call on the next speaker, then Doug Bigley, who popped up, I guess he's agreeable to what you're proposing.
Chair, I mean, I'm guessing under the Sunshine Law, you guys can't call back up testifiers, and since you're not doing resources, maybe he's unable to re-speak on it. But I think what I relayed to Councilmember Johnson is correct that, I mean, they did apply for the $12.4 million. That was, you know, that was their intention and is their intention to seek. And just knowing that, you know, there was a lot of discussion about this and, the desire to help find funding for additional projects. It's one way in which the council can consider. There's many different ways, of course, but I just appreciate them even being willing and open to talking with us and trying to find a way to, find a funding mechanism if council wanted to proceed forward.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Member Paulton.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify the part of your testimony. My priority was the 26 million for supplemental agreements, and I kind of got lost in all of the whole testimony. So if you could clarify what you were saying about that one, because that one was me.
Okay, sorry about that, Chair. I know it was kind of a run-on sentence. But yeah, specific to that, I noted that, we are asking for support of the request. I did note that I haven't been able to touch base with Mayor on I think the additional parts of discussion that came up related to that. But the funding that would be provided in relation to the request, we are asking to allow us to be able to use, to support it, and then allow us to be able to use it for supplemental agreements to cover basic medical costs for all of our employees.
And did you say something about what the total amount you're asking for, if 26 million was too little or too much, and something about that being combined with the 10 million HFFA request, or?
No, that might have been my lack of speaking clearly on the subject. I believe there's going to be a request for countywide costs, separate request from countywide costs for settlement of the HFFA THP request. So we are supportive of that. And then, and then in relation to the basic medical costs, I think we're still running the numbers, but our anticipation is about $10 million or less for coverage of that.
So 10 million for HFFA and 10 million for salary adjustments.
Well, I guess it wouldn't be classified. I don't know how payroll is going to tag it, but I don't know if it's salary adjustments, but it would be under maybe fringe benefits or whatnot in relation to the medical for that. Like I said, HFFA is going to have to ratify their agreement. So a couple of things could change, but we don't anticipate that being in excess of $10 million.
Okay, and then the benefits or adjustments that you're willing to provide, 10 million for that, or is 26 million?
For the medical portion, it would be 10 million or less. As I said, we're still, calculating everything out. We're going to have to run some numbers with UTF and whatnot as well, but it should be less than $10 million. Just so happen the numbers are the same, but it's two separate pieces.
And you're okay, like, kind of with Ms. Takakura testified about, like, supplements or studies across the board not by department for, those guys that are chronic hard to fill, or like the EM, which other counties give the EN and the EM same time, so there wasn't that situation. Those you guys are still looking into, so maybe the 26 million is needed, or? Yeah,
so in general, we need a ratified agreement. So I think UPW ratified, and I think HGA just did. So for the other ones, I think SHOPO, HFFA, I think they're going to arbitration, I believe. DPS can speak more to that. But my understanding is we wouldn't be able to do supplemental agreements in absence of the contractual, period being established.
Bargaining unit.
Yeah. So, but in relation, I know council had some discussion about this, I think this week, regarding some type of classification study or whatnot. And I think similar to kind of what the salary commission asked for, I think, if we're going to look at something, I think, we should look at everything holistically and then be able to identify where the actual, points of need are. And you've identified a couple of them already, but I know Mayor does want to take like a holistic approach to it rather than like a departmental by departmental basis.
Okay, so like maybe 20 million this time instead of 26?
Well, I mean, ultimately, it depends on what, the council and the mayor ultimately agree to or want to do regarding a supplemental agreement. I think you guys have had discussions about, like a small stipend, monthly payment, things like that. But that could be tens of millions of dollars, or, the medical coverage could be under $10 million. So it kind of depends on what kind of benefit is being provided and then how many employees are being affected.
So to clarify, like, if the intent was for people that are working with chronic vacancies and you can only give overtime like 8 hours a week, but the rest of the week they're doing all the work, but they're just not getting the overtime, maybe at the end of each month, some of the money for the vacancy can go to them because they're essentially doing the work.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard probably about 30-something different proposals of what would be best for the employees. And I think that's why, looking at holistically, I mean, obviously we need to retain our employees and the institutional knowledge that they have, and to take care of our workforce who serves our community. And so, we are completely open to working with the council on how best to make that happen. But one of the first steps that we would like to take, and our agreements would come before council for approval ultimately, other than just a funding mechanism, but would be to help negotiate this basic medical coverage for all employees.
Thank you.
Thank you. Member Kama, did you have a question?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Nishita, for being here. Thank you for trying to do a workout as to how we're going to take care of the LIPO project. And dependent upon whether or not my colleagues actually, when we come to that time to approve the, because that is one of my projects, my criteria of my priorities. And the other day, as we were having this discussion on the floor, I think Member Paulton had asked if I was willing to give up something for this project. And so the process continued. And so what I want to say today is the thing that moved me most about this project is that it's 175, 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, right, total. In Kihei, which is very badly needed. But also that when I listened to the testimony of both Mr. Bigley, and Mr. Bigley, you can correct me when you testify, and the testimony of Ms. Pomano, was that she would be able to put people in their homes fourth quarter 2027. And Mr. Bigley said he'd be able to start their project in 2027. That was one of the things that I listened to. And I paid attention to, who's doing what when, and whether or not we put the money on the side now or we spend it later. But the idea is that if we have something that we can do now and we're able to do it and work it out, I'm very grateful for that. But I'm also realizing the amount of collaboration that it takes for everybody to come together, to give up something, to put something on the table, and those kinds of things moving forward. So I do not have a question for you, but I just want to say thank you so very much. And thank you to my colleagues.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
I thought you were pulling off a Member Rollins Fernandez and then asking one question at the end.
No. No.
Oh,
she's a queen. She's a queen.
Oh, today you got the queen back. So I wanted to ask, oh, I didn't see Member Senency. Member Senency, okay, sorry about that. Then I have a question too. Member Senency. Oh, you don't have a question? Okay. All right, so I want to go back to the firefighters, Mr. Nishida. And I just want clarification, because I know that when we had the probably finance or budget director come before us, you have appropriated $2 million that's already in the budget, and it was said it's for the settlement of the firefighters. But it sounds like you may need another $8 million more to reach the 10 million amount. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Chair. I mean, it's going to depend on the final details of everything that gets identified, and of course we got to work with ERS on retirement payments in relation to the hazard pay payouts. But I don't foresee a situation where it's in excess of $10 million total. It could be less than that. And in all likelihood, I believe it will be, but that's kind of the top end of the range, depending on these last details being worked out.
I guess I'm asking you because we have that's one of my priorities, and if I don't have to put in 10 million, I don't want to. If I can just put in 8 million, you'd be happy.
Yeah, 8 plus the 2 we already budgeted would give us the ceiling that we would need to
Right.
ensure it can move forward.
Okay, very good. Member Johnson.
Okay, just real quickly on the clarifying question, you mentioned 2 Wailuku properties you were thinking on deferring. Can you tell us the 2? And is this the best way to say not, to find the money is not buying these items? Could we look at maybe increasing RPT to find the money?
Thank you, Chair. So I think the administration's position is that we are still going to move forward, and we are moving forward with the acquisition of the structures. And when it comes to a point that something's negotiated and settled,
Okay.
we'll present that to council. So we're not going to stop that process.
Okay.
I think all I would relay is that understanding we're all on the same page, that if you do, utilize that cash for the Lipoa project, that, please don't be upset with me when I come in for bond authorization for that because I used up the cash for another project. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page with that. One property I already noted to council, I think probably a few months ago, that was the mental health Kokua building that we're going to be acquiring for CDBG DR.
Okay.
That, and there was a question raised previously about can DR funds be used to purchase the building, and the answer is no. But it can be used, the DR funds can be used for rental expense. So instead of renting an office space from somebody else, the county's going to acquire a building, and then we'll charge CDBG DR for the debt service related to that.
That's a good plan.
And then the other building, we haven't noted publicly. I'd be happy to talk to each of you privately,
All right.
but because negotiations are still going on, I don't want to, yeah.
What about your response to increasing RPT?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say the phrase I used the last time, but there's obviously different mechanisms to create funding. Raising rates, cutting expenses, bonding. I mean, there's a whole list of options that are available. But, ultimately, council will end up making that decision.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, seeing no one. Thanks for spending, Member Paulton.
I think you should get it in writing from my colleagues that they won't give you a hard time when you come in for a bond authorization, or like some little cut with some blood and shake hands or something like that.
Okay, will do.
So, Mr. Managing Director, just so I guess maybe people listening don't think that we're cutting all the funding for the Pili project. So now it was 100% loan for the 12.4, I think, in the Affordable Housing Fund. Now it's going to be 2 million in a grant. Can you explain the rest?
Yes. Well, I mean, like I said, there's many different ways the council can decide to do this. But under one proposal that we're providing for consideration is to reduce the $12.4 million loan to a $2 million grant. That would free up about $10.4 million. And then in relation to the other funding that we identified, that would come out to basically $25 million.
Okay, thank you. Because I don't want people to think that we're not doing the Napili project, which was kind of the scare when we first started talking about this. So we stand side by side on it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest impact is the potential LIHTC application next year. So the $2 million grant at least would allow the project to continue to move forward to try to get through permitting and building permits for the next round of LIHTC application. So under this proposal, the project would still be able to move forward, just albeit at a slightly slower rate, I guess.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you for spending your morning with us. I'm quite sure you're pretty busy.
No, thank you very much, members. And of course, if you guys have any questions, please let us know. But thank you for all your support.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next testifier
Chair, the next testifier is Penelope McKenzie, to be followed by Thomas Fisher.
Hi, everybody. So I'm not even sure the bill number, but this is in relation to the Farms Family Bill for the Maui Food Bank. They had said that that was being shared about today, but again, I don't know the bill number, so I'm sorry, I'm not as prepared. I just left the food bank. I just want to say the food bank is such a crucial line of sustenance for our community. Since the fires happened, Kelawea Mauka Hub was at the ballpark, and it became a mobile situation. And because it was just a small run situation, a lot of nonprofits didn't want to give food to it because it didn't have the numbers. But the Maui Food Bank continued to believe in us, and we continue to serve over 400 families a week. We buy produce when we can, but we're just 2 people mostly trying to do this thing. And the Maui Food Bank has just always supported us. And what we see the community wants, like we have people returning their canned goods. Not that we shouldn't have canned goods, but people want fresh produce. They want fresh local produce. So Uncle Bobby and other organizations that try as best they can, Hana Ono Farms, you know, like even if it's 5 boxes of bananas, like people are so happy. And so we serve the Kelawea neighborhood. Now we're going to Kalai'ola, we're going to the Integrative Health Center, but without the Maui Food Bank, this island, and I'm sure Molokai and Lanai experience it too, the struggle that people face being able to get fresh food, which is what they want. So I just really want to, it's especially like the houses, the state and FEMA houses open. When people are getting their grocery bags, now they're coming out, they see us, and they're like, hey, because now they know. And in Kelawea, people will come. We have every Thursday 4,000 pounds of produce, milk, eggs, and bread, and it's gone in an hour. People are coming, and then Saturdays we go out, and it's like there's not enough food. There is so much struggle. And so the Maui Food Bank, again, all the other organizations, and I don't know the details of this bill, so you guys know a lot more, but I can only speak for the amount of food waste that is out there is unbelievable, and the Maui Food Bank gives an avenue for that food to get in homes, expired or not. People are starving, and the fresh produce from the farmers locally is the greatest goal. And so I know that local produce is expensive. I know the chaos that's going on with the world and economics, but this fresh food going into people's home is like the joy that people have. Like even we were getting eggs when nobody had eggs. People felt like they were winning, like they were balling in Kelawea. They were like, we got eggs, we can do, and just that they weren't left out, because people that are poor or struggling are often left out. And the people know that they're not left out. So just the Maui Food Bank is crucial.
Member Johnson has a question for you, clarifying question.
Thank you, Chair. Just to let you know that one of my initiatives was the Local Nutrition Security Initiative, Farm to Family, through the Department of Agriculture, $2 million. And this council, this committee supported it. So there'll be money coming down the pike for exactly what you're talking about.
Perfect.
We're putting in an extra $2 million for that.
Thank you.
In addition, Maui United Way, this committee supported my other priority, the $12 million for helping out people who are ALICE, like they're a little bit above, so you know what I'm talking about. So it's really great that this body has been really pushing forward your concerns, and we're going to try to address them this budget. So thanks for your testimony.
Thank you.
And thanks for doing what you do.
I work at Women Helping Women also, and so we can only buy what we can buy. But when we go to the food bank, it's like sometimes you get, special chocolate and special things and extra produce, and people can really utilize it. So, so thank you guys for all that you do in supporting it. So it's very important. Thank you.
Thank you. I hear something ringing. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for testifying. All right, any more testifiers?
Yes, Chair. There's currently 3 left signed up to testify. The next testifier is Thomas Fisher, to be followed by Sarah Sexton.
Mr. Fisher.
Thank you. Aloha, Chair and council members. I just wanted to make a brief statement. We are in agreement with the discussion from Managing Director Nishita. And we're, again, happy to try to be assistance to the community any way we can. So just want to get that on the record for you.
Thank you. Any questions to Mr. Fisher, which is Mr. Bigley also? Seeing none. Thank you. Thanks for making the time for us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha. Next testifier.
Chair, the next testifier is Sarah Sexton, to be followed by Mahalani Bright Wilhelm.
Aloha kako. I hate public speaking. But I think today is one of those like pivotal moments that I need to do it. And so here I am. Most of y'all know me. I work for Councilmember Rollins Fernandez, but I'm taking a break to testify on my own time and on my own behalf in strong support of Bill 49. I don't have an epic speech. And like us all, I don't have time to write one. So I'm going to keep it brief. The bottom line is that I think the idea of holding one person back from what is fair because another person may not get the same isn't a great way forward for this world. And I truly believe that we should take the opportunity to give folks a livable wage anytime we get it. Most of us that work for the county are not doing it for the pay, but because we want better for our community. And sometimes better comes to us piecemeal. I'm okay with that. OCS works so hard, and I appreciate them so much. But even still, for me, that is not the point. I believe we need to put pressure on a status quo system that ultimately does not serve 99% of us. I know it hurts not being able to increase wages for all county employees. I believe you want us all to live without fear of looking at our bank accounts after we pay rent and buy groceries and pay for childcare. Y'all have seen my baby because I do not pay for childcare, which would take up most of my money. But this is not where we're at right now. We can't do this for everybody right now, but we can do it for some of us. This is your moment to move the needle for some of us. That's all. So please make the right decision. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Wait 1 second in case anybody has questions for you. See none.
Like I haven't seen this done a million times. Okay.
I have a comment.
Okay.
Oh, I have a comment. Sarah, I just want to thank you for coming up and testifying. I know it was very brave of you to do that, and I commend you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, next testifier.
Chair, the next testifier is Mahalani Bright Wilhelm, to be followed by Leilani Polmano.
I know, oh my gosh. I'm getting better. Okay. Aloha Committee Chair and Council members. My name is Mahalani Bright Wilhelm, and I'm testifying on my own time and on my own behalf in support of Bill 49 regarding the salary increases for our OCS staff. This is a huge opportunity to support our people by giving them a living wage. The end game, of course, is that everyone is able to not only afford to live here, but live here in a quality of life that isn't working multiple jobs just to pay rent and keep food on the table. I've been there, and so many others have been there. Every big revolution starts small. So let OCS be that first step. Give them what they deserve and open that door for further discussion to raise all pay and keep our people home, hopefully. The cost of living is horrible, with multiple families living under one roof, a housing shortage, the rebuild of Lahaina, luxury homes taking precedence over residents. The list goes on. I understand the backlash that will come with this. But if you had an opportunity to live comfortably without the worry of where your next meal would come from, wouldn't you fight for that? These first steps of raises could be that ticket to achieve this type of security our people need. I wanted to quote a very strong, beautiful, and ambitious woman. There are two types of people: those who struggled and want others to struggle because they did, or those who struggled and don't want people to struggle because they did. Personally, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So why not go and support the first step in making a difference for our residents? Why should we put someone else down just because we haven't gotten there yet? So let's not talk the talk, but walk the walk. Mahalo.
Chair.
Thank you.
Shirley.
Mahealani, that was great. I just want to know who did you quote? Was it Kiani Rollins Fernandez?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was
I had a
beautiful,
hunch.
council member.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. She can be wise at times.
All right. Is it next testifier? No questions. Next testifier.
Chair, the next individual signed up to testify is Leilani Palmano.
Hi, good morning, Chair and council members. I don't have a speech prepared for you all. I know that you guys have questions for the LaPoa affordable project, but I do just want to make a couple comments. First, I want to thank Councilmember Kama for bringing this in front of the committee. I also want to thank the administration for working so hard to try to find a solution. And most importantly, I'd like to thank Doug Bigley and his team for being so gracious to try to find a path forward for both of our projects. And I'd just like to end, but it's difficult for me to be here to be asking this request. But for me, in the background, I have 175 families that want to call this place a home. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Leila? Member Paulton? Oh, did you raise your hand too, Member Johnson?
Okay, thank you. So I was looking at your handout sheet for the project, and I looked at the rents, and honestly, they are kind of high. I get it, you have to go under AMI. But how about project vouchers for the project? Have you guys considered that?
That's a great question. I was just having a conversation with Kate, your aide, and she brought that up. We're open to having Section 8 vouchers. I don't think that we would turn Section 8 vouchers away at all.
How about the project vouchers, which is, as you know, they're specific to your project?
So my understanding, when I was on the Hawaii Housing Public Authority Board, project-based vouchers are awarded through either the county, because the county gets allocation of Section 8 vouchers, as well as the state. And they have to award those vouchers to a project. We have not gone out or talked about that and on financing. I mean, we can go try to seek those out. But again, we are open to Section 8 vouchers.
I just want to see if you'd consider it. Sounds like you're open, so thank you very much for responding. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, very good. Any other questions for Ms. Pulmano? Member Paulton?
Couple of things I just wanted to verify. You've gone through SHIP-T?
We have no historic effect.
So that's not going to be a hold up. And you can use the full 25 million in this fiscal year?
We can.
And the subdivision process, you don't need to go to the state?
We don't.
And then I did want to clear up, some folks had said that as a requirement of building the tech park, 100 affordable homes were required, and that has been in non-compliance to this day. if we give the 25 million for this project, does that go to satisfying a requirement that they already have? Or is that gonna be a separate 100 affordable housing that we're already owed, not counting this ones, and these won't apply for workforce housing credits?
That was a really good question. So your concern really is about us trying to double dip, basically.
It's the theme of Lahaina. We're told every day, no double dipping.
Sure. So what I can say is that, from my understanding, I wasn't there I wasn't working for the company, and I certainly wasn't there when the council was contemplating Maui Research Technology Park, which we've rebranded to Lapoa. But my understanding is that during the deliberations, there was discussion about affordable housing and how the company would satisfy that affordable housing. And there was a discussion about, was it going to be for sale or for rental? And at that time, rental was really needed, or felt like that it was needed at that time. So that's why that condition is there. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to do 100 rentals, plus we have to meet 296. Just that in the meeting of 296, 100 of those have to be rentals. And that's my understanding. So we've been always going through it that as our understanding.
And then, is it your understanding, someone had told me, and I don't know the truth of it or not, because I haven't seen the emails that was referenced, that former Director McLean would send non-compliance letters to GBI because no workforce housing has been created that is tied to the creation of the, what is it called, tech park?
Maui Research Technology Park. I have not seen any non-compliance letter or email on that. And to be honest, we haven't really built anything yet. Now we are in mass grading, and so we're building now.
And then the other thing I had heard about the process, points were scored lower because it's a 25-year affordability in exchange for 25 million. Could it be in perpetuity affordability?
Yeah, we would commit to that.
I like that. And then I guess the only other thing, like before we vote or whatever, or whenever it's finalized second reading, if we know about also not applying for workforce credits in exchange for the 25 million?
So we're going back to the whole double dipping. I would say that we would like to meet our affordable housing requirements with the 2.96. I mean, of course, we would love to get credits because that helps our overall project. But our main concern would be that we satisfy the condition of the 100 rentals in our condition.
Okay, I'm not super clear, but we can probably talk offline.
Okay.
Member Rollins Fernandez and Member Cook.
Mahalo, Chair. Aloha, Ms. Pumana.
Hi.
Mahalo for your testimony and for being with us this week. I'm in my statement, then I'm making my question. So I don't support having any of the projects named in the affordable housing list. As I've stated multiple times, my past practice has been to leave the funding in there and to delete the names until we as a council have an opportunity to go through each of the projects and have all those approvals in writing, because talk is cheap. Talk is not enforceable. So my question is there any other approvals that would need to come to council in order for this project to be built?
No.
Mahalo. Mahalo, Chair. Okay.
Member Cook.
Thank you. My clarifying question is about the rents. When I looked at the rents and I thought they were high, but then I asked further questions. They include utilities?
They do include utilities.
So that's water, sewer, electric?
Electric will be metered separately. Water, sewer, R1 water, because we do have R1 water available there. So the way how I understand it is that there is a HUD allocation for utilities. And the rate that, let's call the county affordable rents are, say, $2,000, and the HUD utility rate is $200. So for us, we would be charging $1,800 for for the rents, and they have the $200 to meet their utility bills. That's how I understand it.
No, thank you for the clarification, because that helped me understand that this is how much I got to pay each month, but it includes these other items too, besides just the rent.
Correct.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Member Kama.
Thank you for being here again. I feel like you've been here the whole week. So my question is, the concern that our council has with the cost and the concerns that some of our members have. If you didn't need the 25 million, you wouldn't even have to come here, right?
Right, if we didn't need it, right.
So if you didn't have to come here, and the council decided that they did not want to fund my priority, what would happen to your project?
We would seriously have to take a look at it not being affordable or not as many affordable units. So Council Chair Lee asked a great question of me the last time. Why did we start if we didn't have all of our funding? Because one, we could stop, but also we could change directions. We're at a very pivotal point in our development right now. Do we provide affordable homes, or do we go market, or a portion of that? So this funding helps us take that path of providing affordable homes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, very good. Any other questions? Member Senency? Okay, I think we're good.
Okay, thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate you guys having some discussions about this, and it just gives me hope. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, one moment.
Before we vote on the funding, where we can iron out that double dipping thing, right? Or can we?
Sure. I guess if what you're asking me, what's more important to me, the credits or the 100 to meeting our condition, I would say that we would want to meet our condition first. And if we have to forego credits, then we could forego credits.
Okay, thank you.
But please don't do that.
Don't forego credit? Oh.
But I understand if you want to.
Okay, main thing you understand what I want to do.
Yes, I do understand.
Thank you.
No other questions? Okay, thank you, Ms. Pumano. Next testifier.
Chair, the next testifier is Chantel Lindo, to be followed by Stacy Vineray.
Chair, I think there might be tech issues. We can go with the next testifier.
Okay, next testifier, we'll try again.
Chair, then the next testifier is Stacy Vineray.
Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning, council members, chair. Great to be here again. I just wanted to say, my name is Stacy Vineray. I am an employee of the county. I'm here on my own time. I appreciate you folks allowing testimony. I'm in total support of you guys on Bill 49 if you added the EAs, because they work so hard. I didn't see them on the bill, so I didn't know that the raise would cover them as well. I just saw like other, employees of OCS. But yeah, we keep forgetting they're a huge part, right? So yeah, give your EAs the raises they deserve. My only pilikia was that, different jobs require different, levels of experience, technicality, doing research is really tough. So just seeing that across the board was just like super shocking. I do feel that, yeah, there is a disparity of the wages, but is it just across the board because you want to do it that way, or you're looking at it, are they doing that job well, and you want to reward them? So kind of look at it that way. I heard about the union vote yesterday, and it was so sad. I don't know if it was announced, but I think they okayed like a 3% or 3-point-something% increase. And that kind of hits you, right? So just feel that. Feel it for the rest of the employees when you make your decision. And gosh, OCS is a great place to work. I love my time there. And I have a different perspective, so I hope you accept that. It's not a negative. It's to say that, yes, there are some people in your department that deserve it, and that's all. Okay?
Member Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, and good to see you, Ms. Vinere. So clarifying your question is, you said we should support our EAs as well, and I totally hear where you're coming from. And how about our clerks and supplementing their pay as well? Because I find that their pay is one of the lowest.
So look at, absolutely. I mean, are you talking about like the county clerks or the clerk's office? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
during elections, you should see them work.
Right.
I mean, you cannot, okay, well, from afar, but ask the rest of your department how hard the clerk's office works. It's a testament. They are a well-oiled machine, and we need to keep them. Keep them.
I hear you. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you.
No further questions. Thank you. Nice seeing you, Stacy. Next testifier.
Chair, there is no one else signed up to testify. If we could go back to, there I see Ms. Lindo popping up right now.
Hi, aloha. Thank you, Chair Sugimura, and my favorite council. So I can be number one someday. I aspire to be the number one testifier. But mahalo nui, I'm testifying on my own behalf and on my own time. And I wasn't going to because I felt like you guys are being held to listen to so much testimony, but I couldn't sit here and not take the opportunity to publicly acknowledge the foundation of every legislative decision and ability that this council has by the hardworking OCS staff. And it's true that individual personalities and all that kind of stuff can make a difference in the way we work together and what we do, and sometimes take time to find the right team and the right niche. But all in all, the kind of work that is done here and the kind of requirements and just personal integrity and commitment that it takes to be a worker in the Office of Council Services is something that you cannot just find. They're all diamonds in the rough, for real. And I think the biggest thing that I wanted to highlight is that we're always making this pitch to hire professionals and give good wages so we can attract these professionals and people come and go in and out of our workforce. But there are some of us, or some of them, who work in OCS that we're gonna live here forever, whether you pay them the higher wage or not. They're not leaving. They stay and they endure and they withstand and they put their best foot forward to do everything that they can. And they endure everything because they're not leaving. They want fixed part of Maui County. They want fixed part of the workforce, and they dedicated to all this stuff. And as somebody who can see the ins and outs of what goes on in this amazing work tank of all of you and the miracles and things you guys do for this community, I know that it would not be possible with all these women. So I just want to publicly acknowledge my appreciation for OCS. Whether this bill passes or not, they deserve to be acknowledged for the work that they do and for the commitment that they have to this county and to the people. They're the quiet workforce that is never acknowledged and that is never highly highlighted when great bills are passed or resolutions or landmarks or mountain moving, but they still come to work and they still do their job. And I also want to speak to the idea that whoever is leading the charge in being against Bill 49 and using the A'ama Crab division tactic of saying that, one person deserves it more than the other, I think that's really a junk way of trying to uplift and empower our people. Everybody deserves a better wage. The hardship for you guys is trying to figure out how we make that happen for everybody. And so I just wanted to end with a quote by Robert S. Schuller that says, "Problems are not a stop sign, they are guidelines." And right now we have an opportunity for set up some guidelines to empower our people, to lift them up to one place. And it has to start somewhere. And I don't know, I am amazed at what you guys do. So I trust your decisions and I truly do see how hard you guys work. And I honor that by the support that I give you. But I do support Bill 49 in some creation, and I know you will figure it out. But mahalo to our OCS staff, and mahalo to all of you.
Thank you. Anybody have questions for Ms. Lindell? Seeing none. Okay. Next testifier, thank you.
Chair, there's currently no one else who has signed up to testify. I see someone approaching the podium.
Thank you, Clarissa. O Maui, J.C. Law, aloha ka'aha o ke kalana o Maui, aloha Maui County Council, aloha akaku. Thank you for broadcasting across the airwaves. The Coconut Wireless is kind of slow sometimes, and maybe more people are watching during prime time since y'all been working late. Mr. Ambassador is so tired, I probably could have smuggled in some cardboard today without him seeing. So yes to Bill 49 and Big Brother David. And I got some good news for Director of Solid Waste, Shane Agawa. I saw a truck this morning across the street at the Wailuku Library, and they were dropping off a cardboard recycle bin. So it's working. Thank you for the bully pulpit here. And across the street over there, though, I heard earlier during the budget session that the Ka'ahumanu Church guys are looking for some financial assistance, so I just want to call to your attention that I think the clock has stopped over there.
Any questions for the testifier? Seeing none, thank you. Next testifier.
Chair, the next testifier is Junior Nakoa.
Good morning.
Sorry. Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Aloha Friday. Suck 'em up day. Okay, guys. First thing first, I think I talk about the projects that the Lipo and the West Maui on. I told you guys, hey, Nakuya Lahaina. But I just heard about the Lipo. They like double dip. We're tired of the double dipping. Okay, we're gonna give them money, and then they still like take credits. That is screwing. I tell you right now, I'm against credits as a whole. Okay, I think the credit does not help, does not work. Okay, and then now we're gonna give these guys money and credits. You know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. Trying to work this thing out with this. I know that you was brought up to that other development, the Wailea one. And I try to get there for commit to not doing the double dipping. Yeah, because I'm sick and tired. We're losing so much houses here in Lahaina because of the double dipping thing. Okay, so before only one or the other. No more go take two slaps and then the thing leave us with nothing. The other one is Bill 49. I don't really know about them, but it sounds like it's going to give somebody some raises and all that. You guys know how I feel about that. I testified at West Maui meeting. Okay. All I'm gonna say is, this is a start. Yeah, it's a start. You know, don't forget, because as much as I keep on bringing up the park and recreation, the public works, firemen and all kind, even those buzzers inside that office, inside that 8th floor, and the clerks, boo, they gotta deal with Junior every time we come over here talk story like that. So I think they deserve one big raise. Not only joke, but all I'm gonna say is do it right. You know what I mean? Take care. It's a start. Let's take care. Let's not forget about the housing of our county workers too. There's some big one, gang. There's some big one. If we get housing for those county workers, we'll be bad okole. Okay, bad okole. Okay, that's all I get. Okay, see you pretty soon, 12 o'clock. You guys have a good day.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Nakoa? Seeing none. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Be attorney.
Next testifier.
Chair, there's currently no one else who signed up to testify. Would you like me to do a last call?
Yes, please.
If somebody would like to testify in the chamber, please let staff know, or on Microsoft Teams, please raise your hand. This is final call. 3, 2, 1. Chair, it appears that nobody wishes to testify.
Thank you very much. Members, with your permission, I want to close public testimony and receive written testimony.
No objection.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so I wanted to, well, thank everybody for all the interesting testimony we had this morning. It's very good. I wanted to open up the floor for you to ask any outstanding questions you may have related to real property tax. And this will be provided to the budget director to get us in preparation for when we do the RPT calculations later today. So does anybody have any questions? And you can send it over to budget director. Yes, Ms. Bolton.
I don't think I have a budget question, but each SAC meets at 12, and if either me or member Sinensi isn't there, then they won't have quorum.
Okay, so we will definitely make that lunch so that you can go. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Adjourn by. That's the dream come true. That's the wish. Okay, so anybody has more than that, if anybody has any real property tax questions, please send it. Oh, okay, Member Sinensi.
Hey, Chair, and I can jump on the HSAC if we go over, so that Member Bolton can remain if we go over. But we did send in finance questions, I believe it was the other week, you had another deadline. So is this another opportunity to send in another finance question?
So regarding real property tax, right? We're not doing priorities or anything. Just in case you had any questions for real property tax, we wanted to send to the budget, excuse me, director, and then, so they'll have enough time to answer your questions while we're proceeding on with our meeting until we get to RPT this afternoon. Understand?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And all of you got from the RPT calculator thing, so that you can use that.
What number is that on Granicus?
Do you have that, James?
Yes, Chair. So that's, apologies, just pulling it up real quick. The letter number is FN14. The Granicus number is 206.
Thank
you. Okay. So, gosh, I'm losing my voice. Must be I'm talking too much. All right, so that's it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a recess, so you can all take a break. We'll come back here at 11. Is that all right? Yeah? Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you at 11 o'clock. Thank you, everybody. Welcome back to the Budget Finance Economic Development Committee. It is now 11:14. So members, at this time, what I wanted to do, based upon the testimony that we just heard from Mr. Bigley, Mr. Fisher, as well as Managing Director, I wanted to entertain, go back to a revisit for Member Kama's priority under the Affordable Housing Fund and then move to countywide. Member Kama.
Okay. Let me look for my notes.
Do you know what page it is?
I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I move to add a new condition for up to $25 million for a grant to Lipo Investments LLC for an affordable rental housing development in Kihei.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Member Kama, second by Chair Lee. Discussion.
So I just want to say, first of all, thank you for all the discussion that went here on the floor this past week, I guess I can say that, and for all of the discussion had gone on and everybody's willingness to collaborate on this project to, depending upon what we decide here, whether we'll go through or not. And so at this point, after all the discussion, I would just ask the members to support my priority. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, just to, before I turn it over to members for questions, according to Managing Director, 10 million is from carryover savings, 3.9 million from carryover savings, 10.4 million from Affordable Housing Fund, and 700,000 also from the Affordable Housing Fund, which makes it 25 million. Members have questions? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I can be, mahalo, Member Kama, for your proposal. I can be supportive of the funding portion, but not conditioning the development project named in the Affordable Housing Fund. Is that your motion? No. To name it. Okay.
Oh, your mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the mic. Your mic.
Your mic.
So in my proposal, it has the name, and you're asking to remove the name.
Correct.
As long as we can figure out and to understand that this is for those guys.
Yeah.
How do we determine that?
In council, this is our only opportunity to make that determination because they won't come back for any other approvals.
Right.
And I know you're committed to having the projects named in the Affordable Housing Fund in the HLU committee so that we can ensure no double dipping. We can ensure that the AMI levels are as they said.
Right.
We can ensure that the conditions of what is presented in committee to council is enforceable because it's in writing. And so I can be supportive of the funding, but I would ask that we not name the development. And then when we, after, the budget is adopted, that the administration has the power to amend the operating budget. And we've done this in almost every past budget year. We've removed the names of the developments that have not come before us so that we have the opportunity, because most projects, they're just, once they get the funding, then that's it.
You're gone.
They don't need to come to council ever again, unless they want to ask for more money. Mahalo, Chair.
Okay, that's your discussion. Any other? Shirley.
I think, I can understand the reasoning for the request, but I have difficulty with this, because this is quite a leap of faith here. Our full intention is the money for a particular project.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't understand why conditions can't be attached to the Affordable Housing Fund today or tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? So, Member Kama, based upon the matrix, right? So you're saying add the following condition: up to 25 million must be for grant to the POA Investment, LLC for an affordable rental housing development in Kihei.
Right, but I just found out that it's Lipoa Apartments LLC,
Oh, okay.
not investments.
Oh, okay.
I just got that now.
Okay. So apartments,
Apartments, yeah,
LLC?
yes,
Okay, so that's the motion.
that's what it is.
Chair.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. To Chair Lee's question, yesterday, when we discussed the district funds about having the condition for consultation and approval, and that is not legal. That's the same things. Like we cannot put conditions to have condition that money on future approval. Once we approve it, that's it. The operations portion of the budget is not, we don't have the authority to make any amendments or to condition approvals is my understanding. And, you know, if you don't want to take my word for it, you can ask one of the attorneys.
Shirley.
Yeah, let's ask, because I can't see where we can condition the project from the Affordable Housing Fund to be, let's say, affordable in perpetuity was one suggestion, and anything else the members want to
Okay, so I guess I want to ask Ms. Toshikio. There. Good morning.
Yes, Chair, thank you. Good morning. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around this because I think the the concern is that you would like them to at least do a presentation and have sorry, I'm going to think out loud, the discussion with the council, but they are not required to obtain any more council approvals on this specific project. Mm-hmm. So I think the members are right in that you have conditioned funding, but I don't think that you can condition the funding on council's approval of the future funding, because this would be your approval process now. I suppose that you could say that the funding is conditioned upon the developer providing a presentation and allowing discussion and deliberation in the future, but then that would satisfy the condition even if the council at that point did not want to support this project any longer, because they would still be in the budget and that condition would be satisfied. I think I would need a little bit more information on what types of conditions you would want to put if you are naming the entity. And I think that I would like to confer with OCS staff to kind of craft some language that would be legal and meets the council's intention on this funding.
I have conditions if she's asking for them, but at the appropriate time, I don't want to jump the line.
Okay. All right, Ms. Toshikio, so you're actually just want to hear what the members would like to see as conditions, and then you'll get back to us after you have time to think about it?
Yes, I think I'm looking for a little bit of clarity on if there is a condition on council's approval, what type of approval are you asking for? Because as we know, the actual project itself already has all of its approvals.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Member Senensi, then Member Polton.
Thank you, Chair. I too would be supportive of putting the funding back into the Affordable Housing Fund without naming it, and I understand that Director Mitchell has a process. I want to respect their process, and then of course, Mr. Nishita said that Lipoa was going to be the next one on the list, so kind of know that it'll be the next one on the list, especially if we're just giving a grant to Kaiulu or Napili. So I can be supportive of that, Chair, at this time. Thank you.
Okay. So you're saying the project in the Affordable Housing Fund, and what, without a name? Is that what you just said? Without naming it? That's what you said. Okay. Next, Member Polton.
Oh, this is for Miss Toshikio. If she wanted to know what kind of conditions we're looking at for me, my condition would be, affordable in perpetuity as opposed to 25 years. And whatever language you need, like affordable and affordable again, and then affordable again. And then no double dipping in the form of, out of the 175 proposed affordable apartments, 100 of those would be to satisfy the condition of the development of the tech park, and 75 of those left over would be to comply with 2.96 for the 300 market they have planned in the area. So no credits. I mean, no double dipping.
Okay, done? Chair Lee, then member.
Yeah, I suggest that we continue this discussion after lunch, after Deputy Toshikio has an opportunity to speak with our OCS staff, et cetera. I cannot understand why we cannot condition funding. That's part of our job. And so for it to be deferred and then and with a nameless project, that's too much of a risk. Now is the time. All the effort to find the money and then don't put a name on it, I think that's too much of a risk.
And if we go that route, everybody has to have a chance, because only I said condition, so I don't want to be like the condition hog.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing that. I'm trying to do that. All right, Member Johnson.
I'll join on this condition trough. So I want to make sure that the project has 25% of their units be eligible for project vouchers or Section 8 vouchers, individual Section 8 vouchers. So that's really where I was going with my condition, is to have them use a certain percentage, and my percentage recommendation is 25% for Section 8 vouchers. That way we look at the costs of these units, they are kind of high, but with a Section 8, the developer can get paid and the renter can actually rent them at a reasonable rate. So that would be my condition. Thank you, Chair.
Shoot, and can I add on no paid parking, and that there needs to be, if not in-unit laundry, that there needs to be laundry facilities.
Like a laundry facility, community?
Unless they're going to give everyone their own laundry.
Okay. So that is, anybody else? Member
Chair.
Rollins-Fernandez.
Okay, Mahalo, Chair. I think I got the question answered, that these are rentals and not for sale. Unlike my colleagues, I did not meet with the developers to know the details of the project. As you all know, I'm a proponent of open and public meetings so that the public has an opportunity to learn about the project, not just me in my private office. I guess a condition would be that we usually put on is that that it would be as comply with as close to what is presented to the council. I don't have that language, but that's usually a condition that we put on there. So I would want that.
Okay, so comply with what the developer has said to the council. Is that what you said?
Yeah, in a
comply
future
with
committee meeting.
The developers' representations, probably to the housing committee as well as the council, because they vetted it.
Yeah, just not right now in testimony. That's not what I mean. Like a full presentation in committee, not in testimony.
So this would be future meeting. Okay, anybody else? Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. I'm in support of the project. What I heard was that they would change from 30 years affordability to in perpetuity, and I assume that would be with the AMI at the now and future. Yeah, I'd kind of like, I understand that, I kind of understand, but also it's like this project is ready to go. I think it's we're going to, the managing director, Bigley, discussed it, apparently felt that it was viable and had legs to happen. They didn't go out of their way and do all of this for any other reason except for the fact, in my opinion, that this is a housing project that is going to come online relatively soon by a developer that's not going to come back and ask for any more money, that is ready to build. And instead of being market homes, this is going to be affordable rentals in perpetuity in an area that has a lot of housing, a lot of jobs. So I'd like us to make a decision
Okay. Okay, now you're not echoing. Member Cook, are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. Member Uhajans.
Thank you, Chair. I'm happy to support this project. I'm happy to support it being named as well. I completely understand Member Member Rollins Fernandez's concern, though, considering she hasn't had a time to meet with them and she would prefer it in an open meeting. I totally get that. For me, the reason why I'm okay to name this project is I appreciate Mr. Bigley's move. I will say it's not his call, though, but I would prefer to actually not defund that project and figure out how we could move things around. But if that's what works for him, then, you know, Member Rollins has a flight to catch at noon. No, I'm just joking. But this is a well-vetted establishment. This home provider, because I don't say developer, they're really a part of our community in every way, sense of the form. And I trust them to do exactly what they presented to us. Not only do they have to see us today, but they will see us tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month. They live among us, and I don't think they would misrepresent what they're trying to do, not today or not tomorrow. I do appreciate that this project is ready to go vertical ASAP. And we can have heads in beds sooner than later in a time when we really do need housing, which is why I support all the other housing projects as well. I think laundry is absolutely critical, so I can appreciate that. I'm okay with Member Paulton's conditions. I do wonder about the percentage requirement for Section 8 for Member Johnson. Not that I don't want them to have Section 8, but my question is, what if we don't have enough people apply? And then 25% of that, because it's supposed to be reserved for certain criteria, and we don't have enough people, then those are vacant units. So I'm just wondering if there's another way we could make that make sense. But otherwise, I'm happy to support this project. And I look forward to having more affordable homes and affordable rentals in our community. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, thank you. Member Paulton.
I just have to say, to the point of these folks being accountable in our community, these are the same folks that got the original entitlements for Pulelehua. So if we believe and support them and Pulelehua is not going forwards, I don't know what to say. I mean, they can sell it, same like they sold Pulelehua, I guess, you know? I mean, so credibility in that case, it doesn't mean much if Pulelehua doesn't go forward, because they lived and worked in our community in West Maui. They got the entitlements. I mean, I still hear workers from Kapalua, I was on the list. I went to that charrette in 2007. Where's my housing? So just making that point, like, developers' credibility only goes so far as long as you know the history and we're still waiting for Pulelehua. So that's all I got to say.
Anybody else? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I would like the words of Member Cook, also a condition that if the representation is that there will be no further requests for money, that be a condition.
Okay. Anybody else? Member Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. If you go on Zillow or Craigslist, well, mostly Craigslist, I should say, whenever people are looking for apartments, there's a lot of no Section 8 voucher. I don't even know if that's legal, but I see a lot of people doing that as landlords. To have a project that accepts Section 8 vouchers, that allows that's a winner for everybody. I really don't think there's going to be folks who, or like the developer can't find folks who have a Section 8 voucher. I've gotten calls in the past for someone who has a Section 8 voucher, and they just couldn't find a landlord willing to take them on. And I think that is, when we talk, like when I was first learning about affordable housing, as you know, it's very complicated. Individual Section 8 vouchers is different than a project-based Section 8 voucher, where developers or builders say, this project accepts Section 8 vouchers. And you know, the percentage is debatable. That's why I originally was saying 50, but understanding that, okay, let's be, I'm willing to move. I'll go 25%. That way, I'm really confident that the folks who have a Section 8 voucher in hand can go to this place, because the individual landlords are blocking these folks out. To have a space where they can say this project accepts Section 8 vouchers is I think a good thing for our community, because obviously there's a huge demand. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Anything else? Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Again, since I didn't meet with the developers, I don't know the finances of it, if someone can enlighten me. Because I wasn't planning to put the name, so I wasn't going to go into deliberation in public testimony. That's why I don't want to put the developer name, so that we can deliberate on this. But since I feel like I'm being forced at gunpoint here, I'm going to vote no. But,
So are you asking for the total development costs or that kind of thing? What are you asking
the stuff
for?
that we usually talk about in committee.
Okay.
The public deserves to know.
So we are in, I don't know, members, you want Leilani Pomana to come back and, okay, then.
Well, I
we
mean,
have that
if you don't
information?
know the answer to this question, how are you with integrity putting this in there?
I have the folder in my office. So.
Okay, well, I guess when we come back from lunch, if someone can share that publicly, please.
Okay. Charlie.
I really don't think that would be a good condition, requiring the developer or the property owner to accept Section 8 tenants, because it should be done on a case-by-case basis. Every tenant is different. And so I don't think you can take away we shouldn't take away the right of the tenant, of the property owner, and force that person, property owner, to take tenants that may not be actually, qualified for those premises.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, interesting.
Point of information, Chair.
Yes, Member Johnson.
If you guys recall, a project comes before us quite often is Coach Atherton's project. And he came in one time and it was just literally hey, would you accept Section 8 vouchers to your project? And he said yes. And he was there with all his lawyers. So, it's not unheard of for us to ask a builder to do it. And especially with, someone like Coach Atherton who wants to see his project go forward, they agreed to it. I don't think that's asking out of bounds for us. So just letting everybody know that, other builders have. Thank you, Chair.
I'm talking about a requirement. I think most property owners would be happy to consider those with vouchers, and it's on a case-by-case basis, It shouldn't be part of a condition.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Member Hodges, then Member Cook.
Thank you. I actually, I just have a question for Member Johnson about this. So, when we have done other like apartment buildings like this, let's say the one over here by Foodland, or even the Atherton project that you just mentioned, is it a percentage requirement that you required, or did you ask them to accept it? Because I don't know.
Right. Well, my understanding is that when we asked them on the floor, would your project be open to project-based vouchers? You know, there's individuals and then there's the project-based. So
that part I understand.
he was for doing it for the project, but I don't think that stops them from taking individuals. It's just a place that takes on Section 8 vouchers. So I mean, 25% is my proposal. If you guys want to go less down to 10%, I'm willing to hear it, but I want to have a place that says this place takes them, because these folks, they're struggling and they have it in hand.
No, and I don't disagree. I'm just trying to figure out what percentage, if any, would be best. Like, have we put on a percentage condition to another project? And do we have information on how that's working out? Like, if we put on a 25% condition or a 50, as you were originally thinking, and if that's the case, are they full? What's it like? We haven't.
We have not, but
Okay.
I know builders would certainly, you know, like Coach Atherton was mentioning, they certainly would consider, you know, remember what the Section 8 voucher does. Some of the concerns, and we all hear it, is that the rents are really high. With a Section 8 voucher, it solves that issue.
No,
so
I get that.
That's where I'm trying to find that place for them.
I do. The only reason I'm concerned is not the Section 8 issue at all. That's not my concern.
If it's empty, you mean?
My concern is that if we put on a requirement, and I know this is probably, you're not the person I want to use this example to, but like when we couldn't find anybody to sit on our CRC from Lanai, and it remained empty. I just don't want to have an empty room.
Okay.
That's all. Not that I completely hear you on Section 8. I'm just trying to figure out how we can ensure that all of it is rented out and we don't have vacant rooms. That's all.
How about we do it like within 6 months, you know, if you can't find one, then fine, go on to, you know, give them a time limit. We do that quite often. If you can't find an AMI at this level, then you can go a little higher. I mean, that's for sale units, but certainly if we could give them a bit of a time, if this unit remains empty for 3 months, then you don't need to have a Section 8 voucher. But, you know, I'm trying, help me help them. You know what I mean? Like, let's help the folks who have the voucher in hand. That's really where I'm trying to go. Thank you, Chair.
Member Cook.
I believe the testifier answered the question that they would be willing to take Section 8. And similar to one of my colleagues, as far as this meeting here and the commitments being made or the conversations are being recorded, and this is what people will be, you said this is what we expected, this is what we approved. So I think that addresses the Section 8 issue. My hesitancy to put numbers and percentages, et cetera, I understand because we're wanting to make that happen, but I think too often it also just makes it more bureaucratic and problematic. And I mean, this project is going to move forward as an affordable rental in perpetuity with I think it's about $137,000 per room. I don't know the exact amount, a buy down to make this condition for the community function. And comparatively to other ones in the past, it's not that expensive. So we have a lot of work to do today. And I would very much like to, I am supportive of Member Kama's proposal. I heard the testifier. I would definitely hold them accountable to what they said. I believe that they are authorized by the company to come before us, make this request, and be held to the agreements.
Okay.
Chair, my last thought on this.
That's my test. I'm done.
Thank you.
I'd like to move on.
My last thought on is if we are putting in 25 million, then certainly we should be able to have a say, right? And the say that I'm trying to say is that please include some Section 8 folks.
Yep.
That's it. You know,
Yep.
25 million, we're at the table. We should be able to have a say on that. So thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any other, so these are thoughts for conditions that we're going to ask Ms. Toshikio to look at. And then after lunch, she can come back and give us some kind of determination.
So
Member
just-
Kama.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to respond to Member Johnson. I think Ms. Pomano said they're open to Section 8. But, I mean, if 100 people come in Section 8, they're open to all of that. If only 50 come, they're open to that too. The issue with Section 8 is, I think, the eligibility requirements to receive a Section 8 voucher is at 50% below AMI. And if this project is for those who are what we call the gap, right? Which is your 81 to 140, 120%. They may not, I'm not sure, but depends on the entire household of that voucher holder, right? So I'm not sure. But the fact that they were open to having HUD vouchers, whoever can qualify should get in there. I support that.
Okay, thank you, Member Kama. Anything else? All right, so what we're going to do then is cumulatively, I'm going to guess that Ms. Toshikio was listening. Staff, did you keep track of that, and could you send to Ms. Toshikio? Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Chair. We're planning to confer with her during lunch.
Okay, very good. And so what I'm going to do is it's now 11:46. I'm going to take a recess, lunch recess, take lunch, and come back here. Do you want to come back here at?
30 minutes?
Oh, only 30 minutes for lunch?
Well, I'm just talking to the body. We have a lot of work to do today. I mean, and people have to leave. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'll break for lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so either.
I'll come back when you tell me to.
Okay. Do you want to have
Feel free to proceed without me.
Or Member Sinensi said he could go to that same meeting, so between the two of you. All right, so I'm gonna, it is now 11:47, so 11:45-ish. You want to come back at 12:15 and you can eat lunch in half an hour, or shall we come back at 12:30? 45?
How about,
12:30?
It's 11:47. Why don't you just come back at 12:47? It's 1 hour. I mean, 12:15,
Okay, members,
12:30.
you're in control.
Up to you guys.
Okay.
12:45.
12:45. Okay, 12:45. This we're
It'll
good. We're
probably
in lunch
end up
recess.
being 1 anyway.
Lunch recess.